So close but so far away. Those are towers along the Texas-Louisiana border. Pretty far from here, we're closer to I-45 in Dallas, but we can see them towering up to about 40 to 50,000 feet off to the east. All right, here's the storms we had out in East Texas today. If I draw the state boundary, that's the Texas-Louisiana state line right there. And we've got Longview in this area right here. Tyler, Texas is right here, and Lufkin is somewhere down in this area. So we've got this little area of thunderstorms invading the eastern parts of Texas, moving westward. And that little view that you saw earlier, that was of these storms right here. This is at this time at right around 7 p.m. One thing that we notice is an outflow boundary. See that right there? The storm is producing a little bit of cool outflow surging ahead and driving the whole mess westward. And another thing that you notice is that the storms are not particularly severe. In a severe storm, if I draw out the intensities, we would see a lot of the higher intensities kind of concentrated to one side of the storm. With, I'll draw that for severe with my mouse. That's horrible. Okay. And with a non-severe storm, if I draw out the intensities, we would see it more centered right there in the core, not piled to one side. So I'm going to draw in for non-severe. So what do we have here in East Texas? We've got non-severe storms. Very typical garden variety activity going on out there, and these died off just after sunset. Let's look at the big picture right here. Let me switch over to my browser. So how did those storms get going? Well, we noticed that yesterday at about 11 a.m., we had this area of congestion along the Texas coast. Where's my cursor? Yeah, there we go. So see those, there's some anvil debris right there off the coast. What looks like some higher base convection right out here along the shore. And aside from that, we've just got the little surge of moisture coming inland, moving northward with a southerly flow at the surface. And we advance the frames through the afternoon. You see this whole area kind of light up. Pretty good convection going on. You notice that there's kind of a north-south orientation. Okay, we're going to take a look at that in a minute, and I'll show you why. So those storms get going there in western Louisiana. Texas pretty much remains high and dry. Just the usual storms over the mountains out to the west. And this is about 4 p.m. And as we get to about 5 or 6 p.m., this is right around the time where I took that photography, and that's looking eastward. So we were getting a shot of this stuff here. And those storms are continuing to advance westward. So why are those there? Well, I'll show you in just a minute. Oh yeah, a few storms get going around the Junction and San Angelo area. So we'll take a quick look at the surface chart. I've done something special with the surface plots here. Okay, see in the top left, we've got the usual temperature. The bottom right we have, or the bottom left, we have the dew point, which is a measure of moisture. But I've added the max temperature for the day in the lower right. That's just something new that I'm doing. So we've had a couple of hundreds across North Texas. If I outline the area of hundreds, wow, look at that, Shreveport, 102. They really got going pretty good. Hundreds are not that common in Louisiana, so there's been some good heating there. And I'll just draw that out to Dalhart right there. So this is the area of 100-degree readings. And some of that has extended into Louisiana right there, so very unusually warm. That's just something to keep in mind right there. 100 degrees there, I don't know what station that is. That's west of Hot Spring. But anyway, got a little bit of an outflow boundary up in Kansas. That's way out of the picture here in North Texas. What we're getting right here is just the usual southerly flow that we normally see at this time of year. And you can see that there's a little bit of an upslope component, which is slightly unusual. So that probably signifies that there's a little bit of lee side action going on in New Mexico and Colorado. And then the other thing we want to look at is dew points. See the lower left, 74, 72, 70. If I draw out the higher dew points, like maybe the 75-degree isodrosotherm, I'm going to get something probably like something like that. This doesn't really tell us anything important. Let me draw the 70 here real quick. But it does kind of show us where some of the best moisture is. So there's some in southern Louisiana, and there's some into the Texas coastal plain right there. So lurking just to the southeastern half of Texas, very good moisture. Now if I switch over to the upper air chart, this is 34,000 feet up to 250 millibars. Okay, you definitely see the high pressure there over the Texarkana area, and there's the clockwise circulation. Do you see anything unusual that might be tied to those storms in Louisiana? So you see anything down here in this area? Well, I kind of do. Look at the wind direction. See how there's kind of like a curve here? This is indicating that there's an easterly wave embedded in that flow. And if I draw that out, look at that right there. See, that divides kind of east-southeasterly flow along the Louisiana shore from east-northeasterly flow along the Texas coast. So apparently what we've had today is a little bit of an easterly wave. Maybe I can draw that a little bit better. There it is. It's moving west or east to west, and that's probably destabilized the air out there over western Louisiana and helped kick off those storms. We didn't really pick that out yesterday, but that would have been something to look at. So we'll keep an eye on this and see what it does for today. So if we roll this forward, we're going up to Monday evening. So what happens to that easterly wave? Well, I've kind of lost it there. Let me roll back here. Okay, so there's Monday morning. I would probably put that right there, coming on shore in Texas. Then by midday, kind of lose it there in that anticyclonic flow, and it's probably out in this area here. So I don't know what that really tells us. Maybe enhanced orographic activity west of Del Rio. But as far as the Texas area and Louisiana Gulf Coast, it looks like we're getting right back to that high and dry pattern. So I think we're going to see that thunderstorm activity maybe diminish a little bit for tomorrow. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised, and we'll have to go over that and figure out why. So polar front jet right there, kind of a split flow. This might be a subtropical jet. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that later. But yeah, in any case, that's adding to the lee side troughing along the Rockies, just slightly out of the picture. Then we go into Tuesday evening and then Wednesday. High pressure just parked over Texas. Not much of a change coming up. And then you see it start backing off. This is around Thursday evening. So the high pressure is migrating westward a little bit, and that's going to start opening up a little northwesterly flow in Texas. See right there? Now we're starting to get a little band of northwesterly flow. And I've talked about that over the past couple of days. That would intensify, or that would be associated with a higher chance of showers and thunderstorms over the high plains, possibly moving into these parts of Texas and Oklahoma. So this is for Sunday morning around this time. Then by Monday, strong northerly flow across Texas. So that'll be a definite change with things moderating and higher chances of rain entering the picture. And then for Wednesday, that high just kind of migrates out to the southwest. We stay under weak northerly flow, so probably not a whole lot of change by that point. Slight chances of rain. It'll still stay warm, but I don't always see any big changes aside from that. Once that northerly flow starts shutting down, and that's going to be about Monday or Tuesday, we'll see the chance of rain drop off a little bit. It'll stay kind of like maybe in the low to mid 90s and just kind of a stagnant pattern. And we'll continue to watch the Gulf and southern Atlantic for any possibility of tropical storms, because we're getting into early to mid-August, and that's when we have to start watching this area. Might start seeing some tropical storms moving in during the next few weeks. So that's our Texas weather forecast, and we'll see you tomorrow night.